PG work permit and spouse upon work permit extension. This is the topic of today. In this video, I am going to cover each and every question. How we are going to apply for PG work permit, how you can apply for spouse upon work permit extension. Each and every question related to these topics I am going to cover in this video. This is highly important video for you if you are going to apply for your PG work permit anytime soon, or if you are planning to apply for SOWP extension in future. So in these two topics, whatever questions are there, whatever doubts are there, I am going to cover each and everything in this particular video. Hello everyone, welcome back to this YouTube channel GlobeXI Immigration. This is Jitendra Grover. In this video, I am going to cover these topics related to PG work permit and spouse upon work permit extension. So PG work permit, if you are on valid study permit, then there are not much problem in that. You can easily apply for it. So how you are going to apply, what are the rules and how it can be refused, we are going to cover all those things. PG work permit, if you are on implied status, you have applied for your study permit extension, but you haven't got your study permit. You are going to be on implied status at the time of your PG work permit application. Then what is going to happen? Can you work during that even after submission of your application? We are going to cover that as well. If you are on no status, you are out of status, you didn't even apply for your study permit extension, then what is going to happen? So we are going to cover that as well. Then spouse upon work permit extension along with PG work permit. You can apply for spouse upon work permit extension separately as well. Many people require to do that. But in today's video, we are covering if we are going to apply for them together, what is going to happen. But topics which are covered, the answers which are given, those are going to apply even if you are going to apply for SOWP separately. If you are going to apply for it separately rather than along with PG work permit. So you can watch it even if you are going to apply for SOWP extension later on separately. Still, this video is quite useful for you. Then kids visa extension, what kind of visa they are going to get and how you are going to get those visas related to those things. It is going to be covered. Then there are many questions related to travel outside Canada. If you are on PG work permit, if you apply for it and then you want to travel outside, what is going to happen? And if you have applied for extension of SOWP or kids extension and you want to travel outside, what are the complications in that? We are going to cover all those things in this particular video. So watch this video till the end because so many things are going to be covered. You may not require to watch any other video. After watching this video, all the doubts will be cleared and how we are going to apply eligibility. Each and every damn thing is going to be clear in this particular video. Starting with PG work permit. So this is the first thing we are going to cover. So people are right now in the process because this is December. People are right now in process of applying for their PG work permit. They might be doing it, you might be doing it by yourself or through me or some other consultant maybe, but you need to know so many things before your application so that you don't commit any kind of avoidable mistake and which leads to PG work permit refusal or SOWP refusal, or you complicate your application by not applying for SOWP extension. Yes, ideally you should apply for SOWP extension along with PG work permit. So to avoid all these complications, it's better that you watch everything and you understand all the details and then proceed for your application. So will I get PG work permit automatically? It is question of many people. People who are outside Canada applying for study permit, they also ask this question, and many people inside Canada, to many it is quite clear to them already that they need to apply for it separately. But even if it is not clear to you, so the answer is no. You need to apply for it online. It will be a separate application and it will not be the responsibility of your school, your college, your university. They are not going to apply for it. It is not their responsibility. Meeting all the criteria, eligibility, application, it's your responsibility, not the responsibility of your school or university. So you need to take care of it and you need to submit the online application. We can do it for you. We can take care of the entire process. I'm going to share those details as well. So apply for it online on the day of getting your course completion letter. Suppose your course is ending today. You have stopped your study. You have given your exam, submitted your assignments, and you are going to get your course completion letter on December 28th. So you should submit your application on December 28th. That's why we are preparing for the applications in advance. We are preparing for the applications right now so that we should be ready for visa application submission on the day when you are going to get your course completion letter. So it usually takes 15, 20, 30 days to get course completion letter. The day you get it, before that your application should be ready. Immigration forms, everything, GC key is ready, immigration forms are uploaded, SOP is uploaded. Just two documents are pending, which are course completion letter and transcript. So these two documents are received together, transcripts, final transcripts and course completion letter. As soon as you get it, you should submit your application immediately. Why you should do it, I'm going to explain in detail in future as well in this video. But in short, the day you get your course completion letter, you cannot work after getting your course completion letter. So as soon as you get your course completion letter, submit your PG work permit application on the same day, so that you can start working from next day. There should not be any waste of time in the submission of PG work permit application. Suppose you get your course completion letter today, then and you submit your PG work permit application after 1 week, then you cannot work during this 1 week. So since you get your course completion letter and between your PG work permit application, between this duration you cannot work. So if you get it now, today, so submit your application today so that you can start working from tomorrow. So that's how you can start working. Is it allowed? Yes, it is allowed. You can start working after applying for your PG work permit. You need not to wait a single day after submission of your application. If you are not on implied status, if you are on a valid study permit, then you can just immediately start working after applying for your PG work permit. Also, entire duration during this processing of PG work permit, until unless you get your result, it will also be counted towards your PR application, either PNP or express entry. So this entire duration of 4-5 months until you are getting your PG work permit approval, till that time, the entire time you can work and it will be counted towards your PR application. So it is a useful period that you always get, especially the students who are just completing 1 year of study and then applying for PG work permit. Ideally, you should go for 2 years of study and 3 years of PG work permit, so that you get 3 years of PG work permit, because 1 year of PG work permit is a big risk. For these people, if you still don't want to go for a second year of study and you don't have funds or something, and you just want to complete only 1 year of study and get 1 year of work permit, for them this duration is quite crucial. These 4-5 months are additional months for you, because 1 year of PG work permit will be approved to you after getting the approval, after getting the result. And till that time, during processing, you have worked already for 4-5 months, and that is an additional work permit for you. And so this duration is quite useful for everyone, because you can earn money by working full time, and it will be counted towards your PR application as well. So it is quite useful. So as soon as you get your course completion letter, you should submit your PG work permit application. So this is highly important. So prepare application well in advance. So for students who are getting their course completion letter at the end of December 2024, now after a few days, for them we are preparing application right now. And people who are getting in January, for them as well we are preparing application right now. So there is discount going on right now. If you are going to apply with me in December, if you pay for your PG work permit and SOWP in December, so rather than charging $150, maybe higher in future, but right now it is $150. But there is a discount in December. If you are going to pay in December, then it is just $100. So you can pay me $100 for your PG work permit application, and as an expert, we are going to take care of it. $100 is just nothing. So rather than taking a chance with your application, rather than getting stuck with your immigration form documentation, rather than making mistake, just $100 are there and we can take care of your application. Okay, what is the length of PG work permit? How much PG work permit you are going to get? As per rule, 1 year of PG work permit after 1 year of UG or PG diploma. If you are just completing 1 year of PG diploma or UG diploma, you will get just 1 year of PG work permit. Highly risky, because in current scenario, you should not take chances for your PR. Complete 2 years of study to get 3 years of PG work permit. So take PGWP eligible diploma if applying now. If you are applying for your study permit now, after October 31st, from November 1st, then you should take PG work permit eligible diplomas. But if you started your study earlier, then in that case, rules were different. So most of you may be knowing whether your diploma or program is PG work permit eligible or not. So initially in May, private colleges, before that as well, private colleges got closed and there is no PG work permit in that. So in May some rule happened, and now there is a complete list of 5 priority programs, and if you are falling under those priority programs, then you will get PG work permit. So you need to take care of the list as well. You need to check the list if you are applying for your visa now. This is for the future students. If you are applying for your PG work permit now, it means you started your study 8 months back or maybe 12 months back or 2 years back. So these rules will not apply to you. So your program should be in the eligible list of PG work permit. So most of the options which were available earlier, even in private colleges, even in public colleges, so most of the diplomas were under this. Now there is a particular list. So this is for the future students, not for the current students. Don't worry about it. So if you are completing your study now, so you just need to take English exam and you will be fine. So this is for the future students. There is a list given. So if you are applying for visa application now, from now means I am in December 2024, from now onwards. So you should consider that list where PG work permit eligible programs are there, and you should choose a program from those lists. Otherwise, you will not get PG work permit. But all the older students who are applying for PG work permit now, so for them, it doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. So 1 year of PG work permit with 1 year of UG diploma or PG diploma. If you are doing 2 year of UG diploma or PG diploma, then 3 year of PG work permit. If you are doing PhD, master's degree, bachelor's degree, so whether it is 1 year master's, 2 year master's, doesn't matter. You will get 3 year of PG work permit. PhD, 3 year of PG work permit. Bachelor degree, 3 year of PG work permit. 2 or 3 year of UG or PG diploma, you will get 3 year of PG work permit. If you do 1 year of UG diploma or PG diploma, then you will get 1 year of PG work permit. Accelerated programs will give full PG work permit. Suppose your program or master degree is required to be completed in 16 to 18 to 20 months, but you accelerated your program or you got the credit transfers from your previous degree, and you are able to complete your study within 1 year, within 12 months. It is an accelerated program. It's not a problem. Whether it is a UG diploma, whether it is a PG diploma, in any case, if you are able to accelerate your program, but the actual length of the program which is given on offer letter is 2 years, still you will get full 3 year of PG work permit. So accelerated programs, it means you overloaded your study. You were allowed to, suppose in normal cases, you were allowed to study 3 courses, but you were studying 4 courses. So you completed your courses earlier and you completed your program earlier as well. So in that case as well, you will get full 3 year of PG work permit. There is no problem in that. Similar way, master degree, you got the credit transfer and you are able to complete your study earlier. So suppose you are going for 1 year of master, still you will get 3 year of PG work permit. It is not a problem. So 1 year masters or 2 year masters, both will get 3 year of PG work permit. So any master's degree will get you 3 year of PG work permit. But you were going for 1 year of masters and you got the credit transfers for 4 subjects. So it means what is going to happen? Your master degree could be completed in 8 months. Still you can get full 3 year of PG work permit because on paper you completed 1 year of master degree. So any accelerated program still will give you same PG work permit, or credit transfers will also give you same 3 year of PG work permit. PG work permit starts from the date of approval. So length, suppose you are going to get 3 year of PG work permit. We apply for PG work permit in December 2024. You got the approval in May 2025. So the 3 years will be counted from May 2025 till 2027 8. May 2028. So this will be your duration. So the duration between this is the extra period you are getting. So between December 2024 to May 2025, you got the extra duration for your PG work permit, because during this period application was in process and you can still work. So that's why initially I described it to you. If you are going for 1 year of program, this is quite crucial period for you. These 4-5 months will be additional extra work permit duration for you, and in addition to 1 year of PG work permit. So if it is 3 year of PG work permit, still it is additional period for you, 4-5 months of processing time. And if you are going for 1 year of study, still it is a duration for you. So you will get 4-5 months extra for the processing. If this processing is going to be decreased in future, then definitely the length is going to be decreased for you. But this is an additional period for you. Your length will be counted from the date of approval. So if you get the approval in May, then ultimately you will get it till May 2028 for 3 years. Additional work eligibility due to 4-5 months. So this I have already explained to you. So you will get 4-5 months extra process during the processing time. So this I have explained to you. What is the eligibility criteria? So you should be a full-time student in your college or university. What is full-time student? In all the semesters, you are keeping your full-time studentship. If there are 4 semesters to complete your 2 year of study, so there are usually 4 semesters or 4 terms. So in 16 months, in 8 months, you can complete 1 year of study. In 16 months, you can complete 2 year of study. Okay. So usually 8 months equal to 1 year, 16 months equal to 2 year. So if you are completing that and you are not taking unscheduled breaks, then you are a full-time student all the time, and you are not becoming a part-time student by doing less number of courses. If that is not happening, in that case, you are good to go. There is no problem in that. So you should be a full-time student all the time to apply for your PG work permit. I am going to explain when you can take break and what kind of breaks can create problem for you. I am going to explain that as well. Minimum study of 8 months is equal to 1 year of study. Okay, so you should be taking at least 8 months of study, which is equivalent to 1 year of study to apply for PG work permit. 6 months of courses or less than that, short courses are not eligible for PG work permit. Apply before 180 days after getting your course completion letter. So you have 6 months of time. Suppose you get your course completion letter in December 2024. Now, today. So you can apply for your PG work permit in next 6 months, anytime. So you have a lot of time to apply for it. But why to waste time? Apply as soon as you get your course completion letter. So this is a rule to apply for it, but why to waste time? Apply today. Apply as soon as possible. If you studied between September 1st, 2022 to August 31st, 2024, so 50% of the study should be in Canada. So this is the duration. Most of the students are already in Canada. This rule should not impact many students, but rule is a rule. So if you studied online and now you are applying for online means outside Canada, then your 50% of the study from should be from inside Canada. So if you started your study and completing your study now, it means in last 2 years, even if you have completed a part of it outside Canada, it cannot be more than 50%. It can be 50%, but not more than 50%. So inside Canada should be 50%. And after September 1st, 2024, so if you are just studying now, starting your study in September 1st, 2024, in that case, 50% of the program should be in class. So most of the students are meeting this criteria. Your study should be in class or it should be hybrid. So your school, your college, university should be able to write it for you that you have studied in class. You have taken classes physically in class on campus. It should not be online. So 50% of online study is fine, but 50% should be in class. That is the rule. So most of the students will be meeting this criteria. Be really careful if the courses are online. In BCIT college, there are many courses which are online. So do not take most of the courses online. So you just maintain the balance from beginning. So half of the courses can be online, half of the courses can be offline. So try to complete more than 50% of the classes offline in campus. Okay. Do not take many online courses. For example, in first semester, you consider that I am going to take all the courses online. In next semester, I will take all the courses in class. But in next semester, in class courses are not available. Then you will stuck. Then it will become a problem for you. So try to maintain balance that in each semester, if you are taking 4 courses, then take 2 courses online, 2 courses offline. If you can take three courses offline in class, that is even better. So try to complete more than 50% of the course physically in your class. So how you can take break, schedule break or official break? So when you can take break, what is the difference between different type of breaks? One more important thing is these breaks, when you are taking classes, whether you are doing registration or not, many people are like, my college didn't guide me. This is not the responsibility of your college to guide you related to your breaks. You need to take care of it. It is your responsibility to take breaks during the scheduled breaks, and you cannot take unauthorized breaks. This is not allowed. So be really careful in that. Many people come to me after ruining their application and after making all the blunders in the application. They say that I took a break, I didn't get the courses, I couldn't register, my academic advisor didn't guide me. All bullshit. No one is going to listen to all those things. Your university or college is not responsible for your PG work permit or any future application. If you are able to register, register. If you are unable to register, don't register. For them, they are just teaching you. That's it. They are not worried or they are not concerned. they are not responsible for your immigration applications. And there are many immigration advisors with the colleges and universities as well. And many of them do not know the basic things as well. Many students come to me and tell me, my immigration advisor of the university told me about so and so things, guided me for these things. And I ask them, give me the proof, give me where is it written. It must be written somewhere if the person is guiding. And if they are assuming something, guiding from out of their assumption or something, then it cannot be believed. So I have found many immigration consultants or immigration lawyers or anyone who is connected with the university or college do not have right information, complete information. They mostly have incomplete information, misguide students as well. It may look like a consultant from outside saying this, but I am saying it with a lot of authority, because I have dealt with many such cases where students got misguided by the immigration consultants or lawyers which are on the panel of the college or university. Be really careful with that. Double check what they are saying, and you can check with me as well. So I usually do a lot of reading, research on immigration and try to stay update for Canadian immigration. So you can ask me for these things as well, or you can double check, or you can ask that immigration lawyer or consultant that show me where is it written. Please give me the link of the page. It must be written somewhere of IRCC. So if it is written on some government page, then only you should believe it. Otherwise, everything is assumption. I can have a different assumption. Other immigration consultant can have a different assumption. Just because they are on the panel of university, you should not believe. So be really careful in that. So I have found many students who faced problem due to their registration, and they had multiple unscheduled breaks during their study. Ultimately, they are not eligible to get their PG work permit, and everything is gone. Their money is gone. They have completed the study, paid the entire amount, but they have taken more than one break during their study, and both the breaks were unscheduled break, and there is no reversal for that, and there is no justification at all, and they are not going to get their PG work permit at all. So be really careful in that. Your college or university is not responsible for these things. So what is the scheduled break? Official break. For example, in Algoma University, there is a break after 2 semesters. 2 semesters of study, 1 break, then 2 semesters of study. So in some universities, CBU, there is break in the summer time. So you study from September, September intake, January intake, then there is a break in summer. Then you start studying in September. So scheduled break is in summers. You can still study in those scheduled break. You can take courses as well. In University of Victoria, many universities are there who are going to allow you to keep studying all the time. It's not a problem without any break. But when you can take break, when there is a scheduled break or official break which is announced by the university or college. So you can take a break during this scheduled break. You can work full time during these official breaks. So if you are facing issue, financial issue, and you are kind of in a situation to pay your next year fee, you need to work full time, earn for 4 months, then you can take a break. If there is no financial problem, then you should not take a break. Don't take your break unnecessarily. If it is forced on you, for example, Algoma University forced it on students who were taking 2 years of study. Now their study is going to be completed in 20 months. 2 months of study, 1 month of mandatory, 2 semesters of study, 1 semester of mandatory break, then 2 semesters of study. So here everyone needs to take this break. But in most universities and colleges, it is not mandatory, and you can take courses as well. So that why you should not take a break if it is not necessary, if it is not mandatory, and you are not facing any financial issue, because you can complete your study earlier. You get your PG work permit earlier. You start working earlier. You go in the process of PR earlier. So it improves your chances of getting your PR as well, because it is a competitive game. So it is all about demand and supply. So you should go into that competition, in that queue, as soon as possible. If you are starting your experience after 4 months, which you could save, because you could skip the break, complete your study earlier, and you could start your study earlier, work permit earlier as well, work permit application earlier as well. So you will be ahead in queue compared to others. So always try to start your PG work permit application as soon as possible, so that your experience is counted and you go for your future applications as soon as possible. So scheduled break, so you can work full time in scheduled break and you can take breaks in scheduled break. Unscheduled breaks, unauthorized leaves, so you just decided by yourself, I am not going to take any course in this semester. You studied for one semester and take unauthorized break without even announcement by the university that you can take a break in this semester. You just took it on your own. So this is not allowed. If you are going to take unscheduled or unauthorized breaks, in that case, you are not going to get PG work permit. You are violating the rule of full-time studentship. So you are not allowed to get PG work permit. So you cannot take break just like that because I don't want to study this semester. If there is a reason, take an authorized break. So convert your unscheduled or unauthorized break into authorized break. How? So you can just simply request to your academic advisor, registrar, that I am facing so and so medical issue, I am facing some other problem in my home country, I need to travel there, or I am facing health issue inside Canada, I cannot study. So whatever the issue is, you need to share the issue, take permission, it will be on their record, take that record with you as well and submit it along with your PG work permit application. So this is quite important. So whenever you need to take unauthorized break, then always take permission for it, and it cannot be more than, it should be less than 150 days. Just remember this 150 days rule. It can be less than 150 days, it cannot be more than 150 days. So you can take one semester break, whether it is scheduled, unscheduled, authorized, whatever. Unscheduled you should not take at all. Even if it is authorized break or scheduled break, you can take just one semester break. It cannot be more than 150 days. One semester break in between one program and impact on PG work permit. So if you are taking one semester break, it is going to be less than 150 days. So there is no problem in that. You can take it perfectly fine. You can take a break. We have already discussed 2 semesters of study, 1 semester of break, 2 semesters of study. There is no problem in that. If it is scheduled break and you are taking break, it's not a problem at all. You can in fact take two breaks as well. How? Suppose you, for example, you are going to CBU. You are starting your study in January. Then you are taking a break in May. So this is one break. Then you started study in September. Then you studied in January. Then you take a break again in May intake. Then you completed your 4th semester in September. So now there are 1 break and 2 breaks between one single study. It is perfectly fine. Both are scheduled breaks allowed by the university, and you are taking 2 breaks. Both the breaks are less than 150 days. Perfectly fine. There is no problem in that. You can take it. It is not like you cannot take one condition. You cannot take unscheduled break. In this semester I don't want to study. I am taking a break in January, even though it is not allowed by the university. You cannot do it. Okay. If it is allowed by the university. For example, summer breaks are there. It is allowed by the university. You are taking it. That is one condition. Second condition is you are not taking a break, continuous break of more than 150 days. You are meeting both the condition, you will get PG work permit. There is no problem in that. One semester break in between 2 programs. So you completed one program from Jan to September. Now you took a break till December. Now you are starting your study from Jan to May, June, July. It is going to be till August. Jan till September. Yeah, this is one study. This is one study and there is a break. So let's make it August, September. So this is a break. So this is one study, one program. This is second program and this is a break. You can take it. There is no problem in that. So in between 2 programs, you are taking a break and you are meeting the 150 days rule. Your break is not more than 150 days. You are on a study permit all the time. You extended your study permit as well. So if you are doing that, one program is this, second program is this. In between you are taking a break. Between 2 programs, it is perfectly fine. This break cannot be more than 150 days. If it is not more than 150 days, it is fine. So if you are taking one semester break between first study and second study, there is no problem. You can take this break and still perfectly fine. There can be one more condition. Let me erase it. So one more condition can be, so you took a program of 8 months, but there was a break allowed between the study. So you started your study in January. Then there was an official break in May. So May become one break. Then you started your study again in September. Okay, study was completed in December. And now your second program is starting from May, and you are taking a break in January as well between two programs, and you are starting your new study in May. So now in between one program you took one break, and after completing that program you took one break. So you are still fine. You are not breaching any condition, because here in this program, as per the condition, you got a scheduled break. It was allowed to you. You took it, and if you took it and you are meeting that 150 days rule, you are fine. Here university allowed it, and 150, it was not more than 150 days. Now you took a break between two programs. It is allowed. You can take it unless you are breaching this 150 days rule, and then you can start your study again, complete your study in next 8 months. So here you are getting two breaks, even one during the study first year and one after completing the study as well, between two programs. Still it is fine. You will get PG work permit. You are not breaching any rule of IRCC to get your PG work permit. So no need to worry about this. One semester break before starting study and impact on PG work permit. So you landed in Canada and you took September 2023, for example. And first semester you didn't study. You wanted to defer the intake, or any random reason you were changing your DLI. So any reason you were not studying. So you didn't study till December 2023. In the first initial semester, you cannot work in this semester because you are not enrolled as a student. So in any program, if you are not a full-time student, you are not allowed to work full-time. So here you cannot work, but you are allowed to take this break. So if immediately after landing in Canada, taking one semester break is not a problem, and it will again give you full PG work permit. There will not be any problem in that. So one semester of deferment initially to start the study due to any reason. Even if you were outside Canada, still it is fine. From outside Canada, you can take any number of deferments. It's not a problem at all. I am going to explain that as well. But if you are inside Canada, got your study permit and wanted to change your college program, and you had to defer it for one semester forcefully, still it is fine. It's not a problem. So whether you were changing your college, whether you were changing your program, to change the program, it was not available in that intake, it was available in next intake, it is not a problem. You will get a new letter of acceptance for the changed program or from the changed college. So you will get it, and with that you can apply for your PG work permit, and you can explain how and why you deferred your program, or why didn't you study for the first semester initially after landing in Canada. So you can explain it. It is not a problem. There is going to be an SOP to explain these things. I am going to discuss that as well. But if I deferred admission after getting study visa, so you can defer any number of time. It's not a problem. I got my study visa. I am inside my home country. Suppose it is India. I haven't traveled to Canada. I want to defer it once. I want to defer it twice, thrice. I can defer it. As soon as my university doesn't have any problem with that, I can keep on deferring it. To travel to Canada, I need to have a valid study visa. Study visa stamp. If I have a valid study visa stamp, I can travel to Canada. It's not a problem. And my status should be valid in my GC key as well. Valid status. So if you defer, there is no problem. Okay, on PG work permit, you can defer any number of time. But there is one situation. If you defer for one semester, you need not to even tell to IRCC, even through web form, that I deferred my admission so and so. No need to even submit your web form. But if you are deferring for 8 months, your visa is approved, now you are deferring for 8 months, it is more than 150 days, then IRCC will reopen your file and they will give you a new PPR. So if you submit, here you need to submit a web form to let IRCC know that I have deferred my admission, it is more than 150 days, and now give me a new PPR. They will automatically reopen your file and give you a new PPR, and you can get your visa stamp again. Okay, so it is going to happen. It happens automatically. So if you are deferring for 2 times, so it can take little bit of time. So you wanted to defer for two semesters only, but ultimately you can end up deferring even more, because if IRCC reopens the file and they are not giving you a final PPR and it gets delayed, so defer for 1 semester is perfectly fine. Otherwise it will be logistic issues for you, but overall there is no impact on PG work permit or your study permit application. So you already got your visa, you will get it again as well, it's not a problem. Or if they miss it, then okay, if they miss it and make your GC key, your visa become invalid, so that also become a problem for you. So deferring for 1 semester after getting visa is fine. There are no issues. By rule, there are no issues even after deferment of 2 semesters as well, 3 semesters as well. By rule, there is no problem. But because of delays and complications in receiving web forms by IRCC, processing of web forms, how they react, how they reopen the file, how much time they are going to take to give you new PPR, it becomes really complicated for you and it can delay your process even further. So that's why do not defer it for 2 semesters. By rule, you can do it. There won't be any impact on PG work permit. Documents needed for PG work permit: course completion letter is required, final transcript is required, admission offer letter with length and duration of study. So if you deferred, so you must be getting a new letter of acceptance from the university. So that latest final letter of acceptance, final LOA is required. All study permit, so suppose you got your first study permit after entering in Canada, so that is required. And if you get separate study permit and part-time work permit, so what is part-time work permit? Usually there is a condition written below your study permit that you can work part-time off campus, on campus as well, it is allowed. If that condition is not written, you may require to apply for that work permit where you are authorized to work off campus as per the rules. You may get it separately with study permit by the border officer, or you may require to apply for it separately and you may get it through mail. So that also happen. So in both the conditions, you may require to give, whether that if you get single permit, then you need to give single. If you get 2 permits separately for work permit, you need to give both. If you got the extension later on, suppose you deferred the admission in between or something happened and you needed to extend your study permit in between, then you must be having 1 study permit. Initially you got it, then you something happened, you took second program and that's why you extended your study permit, then you must be having 2 study permit. So whatever permits you are having, all the permits are required to be submitted. English or French test scorecard, so mostly people are going to take English test, whether it is IELTS general or PTE core or SOWP general. So you need to take this test. I am going to explain the score as well very soon. Other documents, your passport, photo, immigration forms, SOP. So you can explain everything in SOP. We write the SOP to explain which program I studied, what was the length of the program, as per rule, how much PG work permit I should get. So the entire explanation is there in the SOP. Medical exam for PG work permit, if you are going to work in healthcare or childcare related professions, then you should take medical examination as well. You can take it inside Canada as well. So you need to do it if you are looking to work in healthcare sector. So do it before applying for your PG work permit. Otherwise, later on, amendment in this is a task in itself. So if you are planning to work in healthcare, do your medical examination today. Okay, and it should not be 3 months, more than 3 months old. Suppose you want to apply for your PG work permit in December, so do your medical exam in November or December. That's it. So take your date in advance, do it, and then apply for your PG work permit. Amendment in your PG work permit application is really difficult. Not the application. After getting the approval, then amendment can take a lot of time. So rather than going into those lines, just take your medical examination in advance. For others, medical examination is not required. For normal jobs, it's not required. English or French test score, so valid scorecard needed. CLB 7 if studied in university. Suppose you completed the entire program in university, then CLB 7. If you completed 1 in university, 1 in college, still go for CLB 7. This is the score required. CLB 5 if you studied in college. If your entire study is in college, then take CLB 5. CLB 5, 7 is quite easy. It's 6666 in IELTS, quite easy. You can take it quite easily. So accepted score cards are IELTS GT, SOWP General, PTE Core. PTE Core is also easy. You can take that. If you need help in preparing for PTE Core or these tests, I can help you in these tests as well. We have the trainers to train you, so we can help you in this. For French, TEF Canada or TCF Canada. If you want to learn TEF Canada, so we can help you in TEF Canada as well. This preparation, it is a useful test for Canada PR as well. If you are not getting PR from outside, French is one way of taking it. Cutoff score in express entry is 450 approximately. So if you are preparing for French and your overall score, if you are getting some experience in Canada, for everyone's score is going to reach somewhere around 450. Even if it is 400, with French test, it will be far more than 450. So French is one category. There are a lot of seats allocated just for francophones for PR. So you can take that test, TEF Canada, and with that test you are going to means if someone is from French background, then it can be used for PG work permit, definitely. Rather than taking English test, you can take French as well, but you can take it for Canada PR as well in future. So anyone who is taking IELTS GT or PT core for PG work permit can prepare for TEF Canada as well. We can help you in that. We have trainers on board for TEF Canada, so we can help you in this, and you can prepare for your PR application. It can be done from outside Canada as well. If someone is really willing to take PR of Canada, I am also eyeing this test for my PR in Canada. So we are really keen for this test. So TEF Canada is one test which can get us PR. So it is possible. If you are already inside Canada completing your study and you are able to achieve B2 level in TEF Canada, your score is going to be far more compared to the cutoff right now. So this is a really great test which can be used by French people in for PG work permit and also for PR. So it can be taken. Funds, none. You don't require any funds for PG work permit. Showing fund is not required, but you need to show your financial capacity if applying for SOWP extension. If you are applying for PG work permit and for spouse open work permit extension as well. Now combining both application, required to prove that you have funds for the entire family. Now you need to prove your financial capacity using job and available funds. Now you should show your funds and you need to give proofs for your jobs as well. I am going to explain SOWP in detail as well, but for PG work permit alone, funds are not required. You can submit application without showing any funds, without any job as well. You don't require to show any job. Job is also not required if you are applying just for PG work permit. But if you are applying for SOWP extension, then it will be required. We are going to explain it in our next section. Okay, but if study permit expiring before getting course completion letter, now it is somewhat tricky situation. So I'm going to explain it. Just understand it really carefully because I get so many questions just for this particular part. Many students who are now in Algoma University and they are going to get their course completion letter on 9th of January and their study permit is expiring on 31st of December. Many of them extended their study permit. Many of them submitted the application, but they haven't got the result. So they will be on implied status that time. And many of them, I don't know, if someone didn't even submit the application, they may be out of status at the time of their PG work permit application. And it will become a really big problem for them. So that's why this is a really crucial portion. You need to take care of this really carefully. So if you are on implied status, what does it mean? That if you already submitted your application maybe June, July, and you got the extension as well, now your permit is valid till April 2025. You are perfectly fine. There is no problem. So you are going to submit your application on 9th of January 2025. Your study permit is valid till 30th April 2025. So you are on valid status, valid study permit, perfectly fine. On 9th of January, you can submit your study permit application. There is no problem at all. For them, it's all over. It's not a problem. It's not a concern. So no need to worry about this. But if you will be on implied status, what does it mean? That you submitted your study permit extension application in October, in November, in December now, and on 9th of January, you will be on implied status. What is going to happen in that scenario? Do not apply for your PG work permit before study permit extension is approved. Why I am saying so? As soon as you get your course completion letter, you need to stop working. You cannot do job. Okay, if you are going to apply, you are already on implied status. How it is going to work? So you will be on your implied status. Suppose you apply on January 9th, you are on your implied status on January 9th. You applied for your study permit extension, but it is not approved. So you are applying for another implied status from the implied status, and you will not be allowed to work if you are applying for your PG work permit application from an implied status. So your permit was valid till 31st December and you applied for your extension. It is already in process, but it is not yet approved. Here as well, it is not approved. So here you are on implied status. If you are on implied status, you are going to go on another implied status from here. If you apply a new application from implied status, you are not allowed to carry the previous status. So your previous study permit extension application, that carries your previous status, because when you applied for it, that time you were a student. That time you had a valid study permit which was valid till 31st December. Now it is not valid on 9th of January, but because you were already on implied status, you submitted one more application from that implied status. So you need not to restore your status, but you are not carrying student status as well. Okay, so you are not allowed to work. So you should not submit your PG work permit application until unless you get your extension approved. Suppose your extension is approved on maybe 30th January 2025. So after the extension is approved, now you are allowed to submit your PG work permit application, because you are not breaching 180 days time. You have 180 days of period to apply for your PG work permit. So now submit your PG work permit application here. Now because you are having study permit extension with you, because you are submitting the new application of PG work permit, because on your study permit, because you are having a study permit on 30th January, so because you are submitting application on that date when you got the approval of study permit extension, due to this you will be allowed to apply for your PG work permit and you will be allowed to work as well. Because now what is going to be your status? Your student status is going to be your implied status. So you will extend your student status if your study permit is approved. If there is any confusion, leave a question or call me for that if you are unable to explain it. I am going to explain it with one example as well. Just wait for it. Okay, implied status, no. If your implied status is no, first of all, today, before the expiration of your study permit, suppose it is expiring on 31st December, you should submit your study permit extension application so that you don't require to restore your status. Okay, apply for a study permit extension now. Submit it today before the expiration of your study permit. If it is expiring on December 31st, apply before that. If you haven't applied, apply for it. Ask your friends, ask everyone in your circle whether you have a valid study permit right now or not, whether you have submitted the extension application or not. If they haven't applied, apply for it today. If you want my help, just call me. I am going to take care of your case. Do not apply for PG work permit before study permit is extended. It will be a waste of period for you, definitely, because until unless your study permit extension is approved, you cannot work. Because as soon as you get your course completion letter, you need to stop working. And you are not applying for PG work permit even after that. You should not work. Otherwise, it will be a bigger loss for you. How it is going to be a bigger loss for you? You will submit your PG work permit application because you are not on status, or you are on implied status, still you are not allowed to work. Because you are not allowed to work, why you are applying for PG work permit that time? Then get your study permit extension first, then apply for PG work permit. It will save a lot of time, because extension application usually takes 2 months of time. PG work permit extension application take 5 months of time. So what's better? Wastage of 1 month or 2 months, or wastage of 5 months? So it's better to wait until unless you get your study permit extension approval. But if study permit expires before PG work permit application, then I have already shared with you, you should submit your extension application first. So you should do it. If you are still unable to do it, you forgot, and now it is January 1st, your study permit was valid till December 31st, but now it is January 1st. What you need to do? Just restore your status student first you need to restore your status as a student, plus you need to submit your PG work permit application. Cost is going to increase in that case, so it will be a big loss for you. One is restoration cost of $239.75. $150 is student study permit application fee. Now you will ask why they are charging for study permit application. I'm not applying for any study permit, but you are restoring your status as a student, so you need to pay study permit application fee as well. Plus you need to pay PG work permit application fee as well. So you will restore your status as a student, plus you will apply for PG work permit. That's how you need to pay. It is going to be around $400, $600, $650 plus consultant as well. So it will be a big loss for you. So do not lose your status in Canada. It is a loss for you, big loss for you. So you cannot work until approval of PG work permit. So you will lose 5 months of time unless you are PG work permit. First, you are losing this money, you are paying extra to restore status. Then you cannot work unless your PG work permit is approved. It's a big loss for you. Then risk of removal if restoration is refused. In some cases, restoration is refused because you are not meeting the initial criteria of entering in Canada. If that happens, your restoration will be rejected, your study permit restoration is rejected, and automatically your PG work permit is rejected. So it increases the risk of removal as well. So never go out of status in Canada or in any country. People stay out of status in UK, people stay out of status in Canada. There are no reversals for those red flags in next applications. Always stay legal, always stay aware, submit your applications on time. This is the most important thing. Unless you get your PR citizenship, then you are free. For 3, 4, 5 years, you need to be really on your toes and do not miss these type of things. Then even the consultants, even the best of consultants, do not have any solutions for you. Then you go to random people, they charge you random amounts and still nothing happens. Then you feel like thag liya mujhe. So it should not happen to you. It is first your mistake, then it is the mistake of any consultant. So this is the example. Suppose your study is finished on December 10th. Your study is finished already. Suppose you are in Algoma University, McEwan University, CBU, any university. December 10th, recently your study is already finished. Are you allowed to work right now? The answer is no. You need to check when officially the semester is ending. Suppose your last exam was on December 10th, but officially the semester is ending on December 18th as per the curriculum. So you can start working full time after that, not between this. Here you can work part time. How much? 24 hours per week. So this is the time you can work. Okay. So here your semester ends. Here you can start working full time. Okay. Semester is over. Till what time? Till the time you get your course completion letter here. So you need to stop working on January 10th when you get your course completion letter. The day you get your course completion letter, you need to stop working full time. So here you can work full time during this period. So when your semester officially ends and the day you get your course completion letter, between this you can work full time. Understood? Once you get your course completion letter, then you need to apply for your PG work permit. I have already explained the situations, how you can apply for your PG work permit. There can be different situations. If you are on study permit, even on December 10th, there is no problem in that. So you can simply keep working. There is no problem, and you can just submit your application of PG work permit on December 10th and start working the next day. So you were working before December 10th, you are working after December 10th, perfectly fine. You are on study permit. But if you have already applied for study permit extension and you haven't got it, do not submit your PG work permit application and stop working here unless you get the approval of study permit extension. The day you get your study permit extension, submit your PG work permit application then. If you have lost your status and if you are not even on implied status on this day, what to do in that scenario? In that case, restore your application and submit your PG work permit application. Nothing can happen in this scenario. Even if you submit a new study permit extension application, it cannot work because you have already missed the deadline of your study permit. So you cannot extend your study permit once it is expired. You can apply for it before its expiry. Okay, understood? So you need to restore your status. You cannot work, and along with that apply for your PG work permit application. Can I work full time before getting course completion letter? Yes, I have already explained. The day your semester officially ending, it was 18th December in our case, and till the time you are getting your course completion letter, between these two dates you can work full time. There is no problem that. Once you submit your PG work permit application, then again next day you can start working full time. There is no problem in that. Can I apply for PG work permit from outside Canada? The answer is yes. So if you completed your study, travel to your home country for your marriage or meeting your parents or something, or you went to some other country, you can apply for your PG work permit from there as well. But a few things you need to take care in this particular situation. Okay, what is the situation? You will get a visitor visa after approval and PG work permit on port of entry. So once you go outside, you apply for your PG work permit from outside, or you applied from inside but you traveled outside in between the processing of application. What is going to happen? After you get the approval, you will get a visitor visa, so that you can take the stamp on your passport and travel back to Canada. Okay, that is the visitor visa approval for your application. Then PG work permit on port of entry. Then you will get PG work permit on port of entry while coming back. If it is not approved till that time, for example, you applied on January 9th for your PG work permit. Okay, then that time you were inside Canada. Then you traveled outside for 1 month, and Feb 9th you came back to Canada. While entering in Canada, suppose you had a valid study visa stamp on your passport, perfectly fine, or you had a TRV. TRV is whenever you want to extend your stamp inside Canada, you get a visitor visa stamp. We call it TRV. So any stamp on passport is fine to travel back. So you get this approval and you are able to travel back. Now you are on airport. Okay, and if you have a valid study permit, so you will enter in Canada with valid study permit. But if you don't have a valid study permit, your study permit was valid till December 31st, and you don't have a valid study permit, A4 type paper, then in that case, border officer will give you a visitor record, and with this visitor record you can stay in Canada until unless you get your PG work permit approval. But you can stay in Canada, but you cannot work because this is a visitor record. So if you have a valid study permit while entering back in Canada, you can work. There is no problem in that. But if you don't have a valid study permit and if you are entering in Canada on a visitor record, then until unless you get your PG work permit, you cannot work. So be really careful in this. Can I travel outside Canada after PG work permit application? That I have already explained to you. Yes, you can travel outside Canada. It's not a problem. You can submit your application and go outside, or you can submit your application from outside. Both are fine. And then your permit will be issued. Either the permit will be issued or visitor visa stamp PPR will be issued, and you can get your visa stamp with that. Visa stamp is done, then you can travel back. And again, I have explained, if you have a valid study permit, then in that case you will be able to enter in Canada on that study permit and will be able to work. If you don't have a valid study permit, you will get a visitor record while entering in Canada, and you cannot work until unless you get the PG work permit approval for yourself. So check visa stamp validity to travel back. So the most important thing is you should have a visa stamp on passport to travel back to Canada, whether it is TRV stamp or study visa stamp. Any stamp is fine to travel back. It's not a problem. When you are entering back in Canada after the application of PG work permit, if your PG work permit is approved, you will get it on border. If it is not approved, you will get a visitor record, or if you already have a study permit, you will be able to enter through study permit. So these three conditions can happen with you. Extension of PG work permit. PG work permit can be extended if passport is expiring. Suppose you are supposed to get like 3 years of PG work permit, but your passport is expiring after 1 year. So you get your PG work permit for 1 year, then you renew your passport, and after renewal of passport, submit an online application for the extension of PG work permit. Then you will get 2 years of PG work permit again, which is remaining for you. PG work permit cannot be applied twice in your lifetime. So you cannot apply for PG work permit 2 times. Many students are like, I want to become really smart. 1 year of study, 1 year of PG work permit, then 1 year of study. So this doesn't work. Once you get your PG work permit here, you are not going to get it here. So people think that I will study for 1 year, then I will get 1 year of PG work permit. And in that, if I get the PR, fine. If I don't get the PR, then I will study once again, 1 more year. Then I will get 2 years of more PG work permit. It doesn't work this way. PG work permit can be applied once in your lifetime. It cannot be extended until unless this condition is there, and it cannot be applied again as well. So if you want to study 2 years, 1 plus 1 together, and then get 3 years of PG work permit directly. So do not make it 1 year of study, 1 year of PG work permit, 1 year of study. It's of no use for you. Okay. Why PG work permit can be refused? So few basic conditions can be there. Work more than allowed limit. Suppose you were allowed to work full time during COVID situation and till recently as well. I guess in January or till April, you are allowed to work full time. So you need to check that. If you were allowed to work full time, then it's fine. You were working any number of hours. But if you were not allowed to work full time, you were allowed to work part time. So it was 20 hours per week till now. Now it is 24 hours per week. So are you breaching these criteria? There are many students who have worked for 24 hours per week even before the official announcement in this particular fall semester in September, October, somewhere around that. Be really careful. You should be lucky enough to get your PG work permit approved due to this problem. So recently, September 2024, many students started working 24 hours per week even without the official announcement by IRCC. So it's a big problem. So you cannot work more than 20 hours per week. Now you cannot work more than 24 hours per week. So this is not allowed. If you are working during unauthorized breaks, that is not allowed. Okay. Or if someone catches you working on cash, you will be deported. There is no point of PG work permit. That is a criminal activity in Canada. Or any accident which is counted under criminal activity or any other theft or something against you, then you will be removed and you will not get PG work permit. Mistakes in immigration form can also lead to PG work permit refusal. Then mismatch of information in the previous application. Suppose earlier you showed a different study or different experience. Now you are saying something else in immigration form. Then it becomes a problem for you. Or you didn't submit the right documents. Didn't submit your previous study permits or extension or current study permit, current status, or you didn't submit the application appropriately. You needed to restore your status, but you didn't restore it. So you made any kind of mistake in the application or in documents, it can also lead to a refusal. Timeline of PG work permit, it is 4 to 5 months. Usually right now, it can be reduced. In some exceptional cases, it is less as well, but usually it is 4 to 5 months. Automatic work authorization letter, mostly people get it automatically. This is work authorization letter for 4 months, 6 months, 8 months. Mostly people get it. Even if you don't get it, it is just for your employer to see that, okay, you are allowed to work and you can share it with your employer. And if you need to extend it, you can submit a web form for that. But even without that, you are allowed to work. This is not any approval. This is just kind of an intimation which you can submit to your employer that, see, I have submitted the application, IRCC is processing it, and this is kind of an automatic approval. This is not the approval of PG work permit, and it has a limited period on it, sometimes 4 months, 6 months, 8 months, depending upon the application. Okay. So many people who apply for spouse open work permit extension or PG work permit, mostly they get it. Even if you don't get it, and if you are allowed to work, you can keep working. It's not a problem if you are meeting the criteria. This is not an approval. Without that you can't work. This is not a condition. Without that as well you can work. This is just automatic generated letter for you. That's it. Can you work on implied status even if this letter expires? So I have already shared. Yes, you can work even on implied status. Whenever you apply for PG work permit, you get this automatic approval for 4 months, but you get your PG work permit result after 4 months, after 6 months. In that case, for next 2 months, even if this letter is not there, this letter doesn't have the validity, still you can keep working. It's not a problem. So this letter is not an approval, not an authorization. It is just an automatically generated document for you for the reference of your employer that see this person can work. We are processing the application. But even after the validity of this letter, you can keep working. It's not a problem. So SOWP extension, will spouse visa and kids visa will be extended automatically? No, it will not be extended automatically. We need to apply for it online, and we can do it along with PG work permit application or after getting PG work permit. So it's our choice whether we want to do it along with PG work permit application or after getting the PG work permit. But there is a problem and catch if you are going to apply after getting the PG work permit. What's the catch? For example, we submitted the application of PG work permit in, suppose we submitted PG work permit application in December 2024. Okay, and we are on valid status, spouse is also on valid status, all are in valid status, it is not a problem. So here we submitted our PG work permit application. So after submission of our PG work permit application, we didn't apply for SOWP extension, and we got the approval in June 2025. But SOWP was valid till April 2025. Here, by the time you got your PG work permit approval, SOWP is expired. So your spouse will go out of status at the time of application for SOWP extension if we are going to wait till PG work permit approval. So this is the catch, this is the problem. That's why we need to submit our PG work permit application along with SOWP extension so that there is no problem in the extension. Both of you guys are going to get your approval at the same time in June. It's not a problem. So even if spouse visa is going to expire, spouse permit is going to expire in April, still it is fine. Your spouse is on implied status and you will get the approval in June 2025. So if it is going to take a lot of time to get the approval, in that case your spouse will not go out of status. Otherwise, in many cases, what we had to do, many students were smart, they submitted some application for them, and there was not much time for spouse visa was also expiring. Then we had to withdraw the initial application which was submitted earlier, and then we applied for SOWP and the student primary application all together. So previous application which was submitted went like that, time was wasted, and then we submitted one more application to keep spouse on status as well. Now you may be saying, we have already submitted this application on December 20th for PG work permit. Why can't we submit a separate application for SOWP extension? Here the problem is, if you are going to submit a separate application for SOWP extension and if it is processed before the approval of PG work permit, it will be refused. So you are not allowed, and you should not recommended as well, to submit separate SOWP extension unless this approval is there. So you can't do it during the processing of PG work permit. So it will not be processed, it will be refused by default because it is not allowed. You should not do it. It's not recommended. There is a logic behind that as well. If this application is submitted, suppose in February or March or April, and suppose it was expiring, SOWP is expiring in April, you submitted it before the expiration. Suppose on 25th of April, you submitted this application of SOWP extension, and it was processed within 1 month, and it was processed on 25th of May. By that time, PG work permit is not approved because it is going to be approved on June. A different visa officer is checking that application. It is a separate application, and because this application is processed before this approval of PG work permit, it is going to be refused by default. So do not submit separate application unless you have 8 months of time. If spouse has 8 months of spare visa, 8 months of spare permit, then only submit separate application, because 8 months should be enough period to apply for SOWP extension separately even after getting PG work permit. If that is not the scenario, what you need to do, submit both the applications together. Duration of SOWP extension same as PG work permit. So if you are going to get 3 years of PG work permit, SOWP spouse will also get 3 years of open work permit. So it is going to be same as PG work permit. Apply with PG work permit application or after getting PG work permit depends upon pending work permit of spouse. I have already explained it to you. So if the spouse has 8 months of open work permit pending, then separate is fine. Otherwise, submit along with PG work permit. Do not take any chances, do not take any risk. Can I travel outside Canada after SOWP extension application? The answer is do not do that. Let me tell you the reason as well. When you submit an extension application, you say that I am inside Canada, that's why I am eligible for extension. From outside Canada, you are not eligible for extension. Extension is not for visa, it is for permit. There is confusion between people for this. It is for permit, not for visa. Permit is A4 type size paper you get on border, port of entry while entering in Canada or during extension. Visa is the visa stamp on passport. Okay, this is visa. So when we say permit, permit is for inside Canada, not for outside Canada. And when we say study permit extension or SOWP extension, spouse open work permit extension, this is for this permit, A4 type paper. And the condition for that is you must be inside Canada. If you are not inside Canada, then you are breaching the criteria of extension. Earlier, Canada didn't have that method of knowing whether you are inside or outside. Since 2020, July, August 2020, they are tracking our travel history. They know where we are right now, whether you are inside Canada or not. And now it is linked with immigration as well. IRCC is also getting automatic information of your travel. And I have seen people getting refusal where it is clearly mentioned that you are not inside Canada and you are breaching the criteria of study permit extension, spouse open work permit extension, and this is the sole reason you are not allowed to take this permit. Come inside and apply for it. If you are outside, in that case, you need to submit a separate new application for the permit. So that's a big problem for you. Do not travel outside if you are submitting extension application. So if you are submitting PG work permit application, you can travel. Still, I will request you to avoid it. But if you are submitting extension application, do not try it. There is high probability you are going to get refusal and it will be a waste of time, money, everything for you. And if you stuck outside Canada and you need to take any TRV or something, it is going to become a big problem for you. It can take 3, 4, 5 months to get the approval of TRV from outside Canada. So do not take these chances. Once you get your permit approval, you have 3 years of permit. Once you get your TRV approved on your passport after getting the permit, then you can travel outside. You are free. You have 3 years of time. During that duration, you can go outside, travel. But during this switching of applications from study permit to PG work permit, from SOWP to extension of SOWP, do not do these type of things. It can become really risky for you. So be really careful in that. So do not travel outside during the extension application. It applies to kids as well. It applies to study permit extension as well. Okay, so be really careful in this. Can I apply SOWP extension after PG work permit application but before approval? I have already shared with you. If you are going to do it, then in between the time, suppose you submitted application, I have explained it earlier. Suppose December 30th you submitted your PGWP and it is not yet approved. It is going to be approved in May 2025, and between that you submitted SOWP extension on maybe April 20, because your permit was expiring on April 30th. So you submitted this application, it gets processed, suppose after 1 month in maybe May 20th, and if you haven't got the result, you haven't submitted your approval to IRCC. IRCC doesn't even know what is the result of your PG work permit application. So primary applicant doesn't have a status right now because the application is already in process. Primary applicant is on implied status. So how the secondary applicant is going to get permit until unless PG work permit is approved? So it will become a problem for you. It's not recommended. You should submit it all together. If you have 8 months or more SOWP pending, in that case you can apply after getting approval as well. Otherwise, submit all the applications together. Timeline same 4 to 5 months if applied with the PG work permit, 2 months if applied separately. So usually as extension is taking 50 days of time, 60 days of time, but if applied with PG work permit, usually it is taking 4 to 5 months of time. Job requirement. There is no job requirement just if you are applying for PG work permit. Okay, PG work permit itself is a permit to search for a job, to get experience. You don't require a job, you don't require funds. But if you are applying for SOWP, condition is completely different. There are rules and there are subjective matters as well, discretionary power of visa officer as well. By rule I am going to share, and by what happens by norms I am going to share that as well. So job requirement, many people ask me about the job requirement. So full-time job, NOC B level required for student, same is required for spouse as well. Now for PG work permit, student doesn't require a job, but for SOWP extension, student require a full-time job, and it may happen on the day of course completion letter, because how much time it is going to take after completing study, maybe 10, 15, 20 days, you may not get full-time job during that time. What you need to do in that scenario? Submit your application without even a job, and as soon as you get a job, we have 4 or 5 months of time. Suppose you get a job after 10 days, after 15 days of application, get your offer letter, submit it to IRCC through web form that I got a job. When you get 1 or 2 pay stub, submit it to IRCC. I have got the offer letter, this is my offer letter and this is my pay stub, submit it to IRCC. Same is with spouse. If spouse doesn't have a job, in that case what to do? Then again same thing, submit the application. एक बार तो कर दो. Once you submit the application, after the submission of application, then submit a web form as soon as your spouse gets a full-time job. That's how you should do it. So whether it is mandatory or not, it is given in the condition that for a student it is mandatory to have a job. Now this is quite surprising. For student it is written NOC B level, usually tier 0, 1, 2, 3. A few jobs are in tier 4 as well, which are on NOC B level. Usually mostly people get supervisor level or above level of job. That is fine. If you have a full-time job, supervisor level or above, it is fine for these applications. It's not a problem. It is going to work. So tier 4, few jobs are there in tier 4 which can be allowed in this SOWP extension application where student is working in these jobs. Same applies for spouse as well. If spouse is working on NOC B means now there are tiers rather than NOC levels. Although as per the condition, it is not mandatory to have a job for spouse. Still, usually spouse don't get extension if spouse is not working. It is a subjective matter, not an objective matter. Objective means by rule, okay, you can still submit application. You should get your permit extension, SOWP extension, but usually there is a refusal if spouse is not working. So what you need to do, you need to try that you are also working. So both should be working on NOC B level or above, so that there is no issue in their PG work permit and SOWP extension. For PG work permit, definitely there is no problem. Even if both are not working, you submitted the application as well, then PG work permit will be approved, SOWP will be refused. So this also happens with this. So here, because there is no criteria, student is eligible to get PG work permit, so there won't be any problem with PG work permit, even if student is not working, even if spouse is not working. So the entire impact will be on SOWP rather than on PG work permit. Okay. So even though it is not mandatory, still you should have it, because visa officer uses his or her discretionary power to refuse your application here, because you came to Canada to work, now you are not working. Why you should be allowed? In that case, you should apply for a visitor visa. Why you are applying for SOWP? So here it is clearly mentioned, even though it is a gray kind of area, but still I have seen many refusals of people where they were not working. Either of them were not working, they get the refusal. If you are not working, submit the application on time. Do not stop the application, do not delay the application. Submit the application on time, and then what you should do? As soon as you get a full-time job, keep submitting the web forms with the offer letter of student, with the offer letter of spouse, with the offer letter of with salary slips of student and spouse. So keep submitting the web form. If full-time job is not available, then submit job proofs later through web form. I have explained this to you. So this is the rule which is given. High skilled worker, if this is principal foreign worker requirement. So this is the principal worker requirement. Here 4 requirements are there. Valid work permit. So this is for the student who is going to get it. Then the approval of work permit hasn't been issued yet. Then port of entry. So these are the basic requirement. Authorization to work, your work permit. So whenever we submit the application along with the primary applicant, so it's like when we submit study visa with spouse, it is the same as well. First study visa is approved, then spouse visa is attached with that. So it's like that. So here as well, PG work permit is approved, then SOWP extension is attached with that. So if you are meeting the criteria, so once the approval is there, visa officer, same visa officer is assessing both the applications. So visa officer knows that PG work permit is approved. If SOWP is also completing all the requirement, then both get the visa permit extension together. So your work permit should be valid for more than 6 months. So when PG work permit is applied and approved, it means it is going to be more than 6 months for sure. It can be at least 1 year or 3 years in Canada. You are employed in high skilled. So these are the tier categories. Tier 0, 1, 2, 3. Usually NOC B level are till these tiers. So students should be working. And exceptions for eligibility. So some exceptions are also there. Refusee claim unforeseen means if primary applicant is not going to get visa, then secondary is of course not going to get visa. Those things are mentioned. So there is one more category here. Low skilled workers are there. So here also category 4 and 5 are mentioned, but mostly are not going to be approved. Few categories are there in NOC 4, in tier 4, which are under NOC B level. So here, if you are working in these type of jobs, it can be approved, but in most cases, it is not going to be approved. If you are working in low wage or few other conditions are there, agriculture related. So if you are not meeting the full-time job criteria, in that case, it is going to be refused. For spouse, nothing is mentioned as it is. This is the family member requirement. Job requirement is not mentioned here, but still visa officer usually refuse the application if both primary and secondary applicant are not working in NOC B level jobs. So in practice, in norms, it happens. So try to get full-time job NOC B level or above, even though it is not a mandatory requirement mentioned here. For family member, for SOWP extension, still usually the application is refused. So do not take any chance in this. Funds needed for SOWP extension. So income from full-time job compensate for funds requirement. So whatever funds are available in the PG work permit application, when I clearly explained that it is not mandatory to have funds for PG work permit. But whenever you are applying for SOWP extension, so show as much funds available with you. In India, in Canada, whatever is available, show as much funds. You don't require to meet the basic criteria. For student and spouse, usually the criteria is $26,000. You don't require to meet that criteria. Your full-time job can also compensate for the financial requirement that you are earning, your spouse is earning, both of you are earning. So you can say that, okay, we are earning here and this can compensate for SOWP extension financial requirement. Still submit financial proof with available funds. Whatever funds are available with you, show as much as possible. That is going to improve your visa chances. Children's visa extension, when and how? Along with SOWP extension, so you can apply for kids along with SOWP. Do not leave them behind. So if you have 2 kids, 3 kids, whatever kids you are having, if you don't have kids, then apply for PG work permit and SOWP extension. If you have kids, then apply for their visa as well. If the age is 5 or above, then apply for study permit extension, or it will become a new study permit application. Here in this study permit extension or new study permit application, you don't require to submit any letter of acceptance from any college, university or school. This 5-year-old, 7-year-old, 10-year-old kid is going to be in a school, okay, till high school. Okay, you don't require to submit any proof. It's not required. I have seen people asking me, I have consulted with a consultant, by paying something, he's saying that it is mandatory to give offer letter from the school. No, it's not mandatory. I have applied hundreds of applications from India for Canada study visa with family. Many kids were there. In fact, my own kids, I applied for them. I didn't even know where I'm going to land. I didn't even know where I'm going to stay, how to get the offer letter from the school before even getting the approval. So it's not required. For kids, study permit extension, it's not required. In fact, you can extend their visitor record as well rather than taking a study permit. Still they can study even after age 5. My daughter, when I applied for her visa, we applied for visitor visa for her because her age was 4 that time. But there we extended her visa. Then she studied on, she became 5 there, and she studied on same visitor visa. We extended her visitor visa as well. We never took a study permit for her. It's not mandatory. So kids can study on visitor record as well. But usually in practice, if the age is above 5, then take study permit or study permit extension. If the age is below 5, then visitor record or visitor record extension. Embassy fee, what are the charges? So official charges for PG work permit are 255. People are confused while seeing it. It is in 2 parts. $100 is work permit charges, work permit, and $155 are open work permit charges. So it is a combination of both. SOWP extension, it is again because it is also an open work permit, charges are $255. Study permit extension, it is $150, and there are no charges for biometric because it is already done. It is valid for 10 years. Visitor record extension, $100. TRV, if you need to take TRV to travel outside Canada, it is not a mandatory document. If you need to travel outside Canada anytime, then as soon as you get a new permit, you should take a TRV as well. So TRV, $100. Status restoration charges, $239.75. If your status is expired and then you are applying for any visa, then these are the status restoration charges. If you want to apply with me, then these are the charges right now, can increase in future. So PG work permit, usually it is $150. It was earlier more than $150 as well. So now it is $150. But if you are going to pay till December 31st, it is going to be $100. You can share it with others as well. I want to complete my 500 applications in December. Till now it is in progress 305 applications are there. In progress 57 applications are there. So we are touching 360 approximately, and few days are left. So that's why this discount is there. I thought 8-9 months back I want to complete 500 applications anyhow till December this year. So this was the target. Canada's situation is not that great. I could have achieved it earlier, but still I just want to do more PG work permit applications now. So if your friends are there, please support me. This is a new company, please support me in this. So right now the charges are going to be $100 for PG work permit. SOWP extension, $150 with job of both. If you both of the applicants have job available, then in that case it is going to be $150 for SOWP extension. If without job of both, if any of you don't have a job, then SOWP extension is going to be $200 because we know that there will be web form submission, there can be refusal and re-application as well. So it is going to be $200. Kids extension, Canadian dollar 75. This is for kids extension. If you have 5 kids, for everyone you need to pay this. $150 for TRV. So these are the charges. If you want to apply with me, I'd be happy to take care of your application. And if you want to know anything related to any kind of applications, there are still, I have seen in past many people spreading so many type of myths, creating so many type of issues, and many times I am really frustrated. But in last 2 months I was not making videos, setting up the entire system, and this month end I feel the system will be far better. CRM and all those other things, making the team ready. So many things were going on, that's why I was not making videos. But many people asked me to make PG work permit related video, so I have prepared it now, and we are going to take care of applications. And I wanted to have more and more applications in next 10-20 days before 31st of December. I wanted to complete the target which we set this year. So please help me in this. So spread this with many other people who are ready to apply for their PG work permit, getting confused. $100 is just nothing. Means I just decreased the price because it's not about money right now. It's all about completing the kind of target which we set for us. That's why the charges are quite less. So share it with others and spread it as much as possible. Support me in this new company. I'm still in the initial phase of it and needs a lot of support. Thank you so much for watching this video till the end. See you in next video, next slide.